All right, so I'm back, and today we're going to be taking a in-depth look in between the three different options for Shockwave. Now, so we got Takara, Cloud9, and Fans Toys, and then we have Alt Mode, Posability, G1, Style, Paint, Cost, and then Features and Accessories. The only thing I didn't add in here is Scale, because with this particular character and having Fans Toys and Shockwave, or Fans Toys and the Cloud9 figure so close together in scale, and the MP, in scale to what some people would say is perfect and other people would say it's not. I'd say it's too close for me to really sit here and judge on it. So I'll let you guys be your own judge on that. So we'll be, like I said, we'll be looking at all those. So for alt mode, let's get going here. Here we have the Takara version. So you got the hose that comes up over the top, as you can see, because it's a spring with a string inside. It's kind of bouncy. Anyway, looks pretty good. I do think it's a little thin. I said that in the review. Obviously, you can see all the screw holes on here. It's kind of an eyesore there. You got a hole here and a hole here and then a hole here. So it's not the ideal look for it, in my opinion. But he does have the little stand that you can integrate into his bot mode. So he does have that. Cloud9. And he also, for some of those that might actually find this important, which I find myself sitting there playing with it, he does have the trigger here. So you can click it and it does kind of bounce back. And I just, I found myself, like when I was getting it ready, I found myself just kind of going like this for a few minutes. I just couldn't help myself. So he does have that feature, which is pretty cool. In case you're into that. Cloud9 here definitely has a little bit more heft to him. Got that nice rich purple going on. Depends on, color depends on your own preference as well. Got a nice die-cast handle. No trigger. No stand either. But he also has this piece here, which is the more G1 accurate barrel. He does have the alternate barrel that you can use. But this piece here just is more G1 accurate. Much better than the Takara one. In my opinion, I really like the silver paint. Now, with this one, there is a slight downside. You do need to do some modifications in there. And while we're here, I'm going to show that off here, how I did that. A lot of people were telling me to do that, and I was like, well, once people told me to do it, I was just like, well, shit, that's pretty easy. So there's a piece in here that would come down like this, and then a circle in the middle, and you're supposed to line this piece here straight up into the middle of it and tab it in. So what I did was I just removed that whole section. It's kind of ugly from this side, but from this side it looks fine. And then when you tab it on, it doesn't put any pressure on this clear barrel piece. So, and that's what we want to avoid, is putting pressure on that. Otherwise you'll break it. Now, unlike the Takara, where you can see it's the barrel just the hose just naturally goes straight from the back straight to the arm. Whereas this one, due to the way it transforms, it goes from the back and it has to rotate down to the bottom. Now this is you can untab this and plug it in here, but these plugs are so hard to get in and out. It's better just to leave it where it's at. So that it doesn't look bad. It looks fine. I kind of like the cord going around, but that's just me. So depending on if you like that or not, that's your option. Set that off to the side, and we'll look at the Fans Toys one. Now, of course, the Fans Toys one, as far as this piece goes, they had to, like, they released it originally going this way, and then the hose would go into the front of the arm. They did have to, redesign this forearm for the reissue and then the later reissues, like this one here. Because a lot of people weren't happy with that. It's still got a nice heft to it. The barrel is not as nice as Takara, even though I would prefer if Takara would have painted something on it. And it's not as nice as this barrel here, although this one's kind of a cheat. I will say, just because of the way that it transforms, it doesn't have as much going on in the back as Cloud 9. Because he's got these extra panels, this bigger kind of piece here. It just, I don't know. Part of me says it's more seamless here, but this one's got like more oomph to it. Whereas here, you got, it's just more seamless, I think, except for the big gaps, which is unfortunate. But so 4 point. I'm going to be giving a point to the Cloud 9 because I think it pulls off the bulkiness and the G1 aesthetics because it's got this extra piece here. And then I'm going to give a point to Takara. I think it kind of pulls off the more traditional G1 look of the gun, even though I do still think it's a little thin, but it still does kind of invoke that right feel to it, and it does have the stand, which is kind of important. I'm not going to give a point to Fans Toys because it just kind of falls short of both being really, unique and being G1. I'm not trying to insult it. I think it's good, just not perfect. It could have been done a little bit better, and Cloud 9 is an example of how it could have been done a little bit better. So yeah, there we go. And I'm going to get these guys back into robot mode, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's move on with the Shockwave War. I know it's been a few seconds for you, but it's been like 30 minutes for me. And I just, real quick, if you guys remember my Shockwave review, he can't actually do the salute. He can. So I just had to throw that in there. Because him and he should be able to do it too, I would imagine. Yeah. Because he's got a double bend elbow. So that makes a big difference when it comes to that. Alright, so moving some stuff out of the way here. We'll get into accessories later. Posability. Head is on a ball joint. Good range of motion there. He's got a joint here and here. So good range there. Ratchet shoulder. He's got this bicep swivel, single bend elbow, which is why he can't really pull off the salute. And the hand swivels and the fingers open and close. The one knuckle there. Waist swivels. Gets a little caught up, or gets completely caught up in the back there due to the backpack. But he does have the swivel, and he's got a bit of an ab crunch. Again, you kind of have to maneuver the back around. Legs up and out. Thigh swivel, bends, single bend at the knee. Foot has a tilt and rocker. And you can see the feet are really thin here. Alright. So, Cloud9 here, he's got the heads on the ball joint, so he's just the same. Ratchets here and here, so same there as Takara. Swivel's here, not ratchet. So Takara's actually a little bit better there. Bicep swivel, an actual bicep swivel, not just right above the elbow, but a bicep swivel. And he's got the double bend elbow. Takara does not. The hand does rotate. Thumb is on a ball joint, and there's 2 knuckles on the thumb. So you get full articulation there, pretty much. Each finger is on a ball joint, and then there's one other bend at the fingers. Of course, the blaster on any of them doesn't move. Hold on. There we go. Sorry. So he's got the waist swivel. Gets a little caught up in the back. Again, I was able to get this thing to work. It doesn't work as well as his backpack. So, I mean, for me, I kind of prefer just taking it off and just leaving it like that. That's me. That's what I prefer. So he's got the ratcheted waist. You can move these hip skirts out of the way, and he's got ratchets up. Not quite as well spaced as Takara, but they are there. And then swivels all the way out to there, nice and tight, but no ratchets. But as you can see, even though he's got a lot die cast in his legs, he holds it pretty well. Thigh swivel. He's got a bend at the knee, which is just a single bend, but as you can see, Takara, he still bends better than Takara. So there's that. There is a swivel at the just below the knee. He's got a good rocker on the foot. He's got a little bit of tilt forward, and then the toe moves and the heel moves. So there is that. And then for him, it's almost the same, but we'll go over it anyway. Head's on the ball joint. He's got the swivel up here, ratchets here, swivel here. He does have the bicep swivel. Now, he does have a double bend elbow. So his articulation there is just as good, but because of the way this one's designed, if you pull it all the way back, it's more like locked into place. It doesn't bother me really, but it's there. Just to point that out. Hand swivels. Thumb is on a ball joint, and that's it. So Cloud9's got better articulation there. Each finger is pinned in rather than being on ball joints. That's better than Cloud9, in my opinion. I prefer the pinned fingers as opposed to ball joints. Each finger can bend at the last digit, but as you can see, they don't bend quite all the way. Not all of them. Some of them do, some of them don't. It's might be assembly error there. They might have put those on backwards or something. There's the waist swivel. No issues here with the backpack, because the backpack closes up and just it tabs itself together better than his backpack. I will admit that. Legs up to there, goes back. There's the swivel out. As you can see, not as tolerable as the Cloud9 one. Thigh swivel bends at the knee. There's a swivel right below the knee. There's the rocker and a pretty good tilt forward, but nothing back. And then, of course, these move independently. So, all that being said, as far as the posability goes, I'm going to give it to these two. They're just a little bit more posable than the Takara. Where'd my marker go? There we go. They're a little bit more posable than Takara. Fans Toys pulls off the feet articulation a little bit better than Cloud9, but Cloud9 is more successful at the hips. He's got more posability in the hand, specifically the thumb, whereas he's got the pins, which make me like that better. So all in all, these two are pretty close when it comes to posability. The most notable difference, though, is just the fact that his hips are better than his hips. Although they should have been ratchets, they're tight enough that they still work. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right, G1. Now here's where we're gonna get into some arguments, I'm sure. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to give a point to all three of these guys for G1 accuracy. The reason for that is this guy definitely has the feel of G1 cartoon. More so than these two. Those two definitely have the feel of, G1 Shockwave, but this one just comes off more like the cartoon. This one makes me remember the G1 toy a lot. The colors, the design, just it feels more like the G1 toy to me. Although his feet are more accurate to the G1 toy, and that's more of a problem than it is a benefit. But he just kind of reminds me more of the G1 toy. And this is the toy colors, as far as I know. And then this one reminds me more of the original Marvel Comics Shockwave. So, while they're all very different from one another, I think that the fact that they all kind of work as a G1 counterpart, depending on where you want your collection to look like. Comic book, cartoon, or toy. I personally have to give it to Cloud9 because this is more of what I imagine Shockwave to look like. That's just me. But anyway. Alright, so style. Which one's got the better style? Just overall look on design. I have to rule him out instantly. I don't like the narrow feet. They don't do it for me. He's good, but I don't know. His style is just not quite there. It's hard to explain. It's just mostly it's like the feet, the tabs not staying in. When he's in going mode, he's got parts, hollow bits. So I rule him out. And then when it comes down to these two, I think I said it in his review. He just nails that style look. Just the way everything's kind of like angled on the designs, the cuts of the plastic, the sculpt, the rivets. He's got the rivets, different panels, ridges. I mean, he just looks more realistic than the others. This guy is good, don't get me wrong, he's good, but I think he nails the style look better. He's got the hoses going on in there. He's got this whole panel here that he doesn't have that helps fill this gap on the back of the legs that's left over on the side bit there. I just for style I have to give it to Cloud9. I think he's just looks better. That's me. But you guys make your own decisions too, though. Hopefully. Paint. Is it a question on paint? So, but we'll look at it. So, this is all purple plastic. This is, one of the reasons why I love Masterpiece is that they put so much time into it. And you get like Ironhide. Here's a figure that's primarily red. Let me grab him. And while he's, red, you can tell a lot of this is painted on. It just makes it look better because it's painted on. So I mean, they could have cheaped out and done the Hasbro route and just done red plastic. This is all red paint on red plastic, and it really just kind of makes it pop. This is black paint on black plastic. Again, makes it pop. Red paint on red plastic. Again, makes it pop. It just looks so much better. This is purple plastic. He's got these gray bits here that are painted, I think. And then this gray bit here that's painted. This piece here is painted. Of course, the purple on the back here is painted. And as far as I can tell, that's it. Yeah, this isn't painted on there, as far as I can tell. Let's try and. Oh yeah, this doesn't open. Yeah, this is just purple plastic. I mean, and this is just the lighter purple plastic. It's honestly disappointing when I talk about it like that. It's just he's got a like this armature here that comes out. It's got gray and purple paint on it. So that's 1, 2, 3 for the horns, 4, 5, 6. 6 different paint apps on the entire figure. Total. And they couldn't even typograph a Decepticon logo. There's no reason why they couldn't do that. So anyway, as far as the paint goes, this guy doesn't really have any. So, of course, he's not going to win. We'll skip over to Fans Toys. Now, he's got some accents, some black accents. So here and here and here and here and here. Nice silver paint for the ears. This piece is all painted silver on the inside so that when you flip it over to gun mode, it's got that silver cannon. These pieces are silver painted. Let's see here. Silver painted legs. This is silver painted here. So he's got some paint apps going on. He's got some things. Now, the downside here to him is that these are die cast, and you can tell that this is a different color than this. So that's unfortunate. It does stand out, and it does feel a little like they kind of phone that in. So there's that. Then we get into this glorious painted just awesomeness. So this guy is painted, or the paint is baked on or something. He's got a metallic finish painted on or whatever over the entire figure. All the purple is got this metallic hue paint to it. You can see, like, this is what it would look like. It's so hard to see here. So this is what the purple looks like without the paint. This is what it looks like with the paint. So it's most definitely a paint app. It's not just, molded into the plastic. They definitely took their time on this. So he's got every inch of him is covered in paint. Then we get down, you get the silver paint here, silver paint for the ears like he does. He doesn't have the little black accents like he does, which would have been nice to break it up a little bit. But he's got the paint apps here. He's got the same silver paint on the inside of his cannon. He's also got this whole thing painted silver. Coming down here, you got, he's got these little white bits here that just seem to be like, I don't know, a different plastic, so maybe they couldn't paint it. But it's in positions where it doesn't bother me. And then these are die cast, and this is die cast. Now, I tried to scrape a little bit off with a knife. You can kind of see it there. So I'm pretty sure this is all painted on. But it's really hard to tell. If it's not painted on, then they got the silver to match this silver. And same with this piece here. So this piece, you can tell that these two pieces look very, very similar. Very close. Much closer to this. Or much closer than this. So, you can tell that that's just not painted metal from a distance, whereas this looks smoother. This is also kind of more of that rough die cast. This is more of that smooth, perfect die cast. So, there's no question in my mind who gets the paint award here. All right. Cost. Again, there's no question here. So the original Fans Toys Quake Wave went for about $150, and then he sold out. Then it went up to, I saw them up to about $600 or $700 mint in box. Then they finally reissued it. Thank God, they reissued the damn thing. At $150. So now you can pick this guy up for about $150. He's about $160. So he's actually more expensive. He's got less die cast and less paint. And he's more expensive. And, it's an official product. Well, yes, but they could have typographed a deceptive. I keep going back to that. But that does bother me because it is an official product and it should have had the typographed logo. Just plain and simple, it should have. So he's about 160. He's about 150. And then we get to him, who's 80. More die cast than the official product. More paint than both of them put together. Better style, better design. Again, it goes to you for cost. So if you're looking for a very cost-effective version of Shockwave, Cloud9 is, again, the way to go. $80. $80. He's half the price of that. Alright, now, features and accessories. Now, they all have light up features. I believe his chest lights up. I can't remember. Actually, I think they all do. No. These guys don't. I think this guy does. I know these guys' eyes light up, which is cool. Their cannons light up, and it's the straight beam, which is cool. It works. His pulses, which is really cool. He's got the display base that folds up and goes onto his back if you want to, and you don't have to. So that's actually really cool. I like that. He comes with, and it got busted up when I was trying to switch him out, so, whatever. He comes with an X, like, this is how he comes assembled, is with this arm on there. It's not going to go back on, but it's got the bit for the hose on the front. So the only way you can have it is the hose on the front, and then it looks weird because you have it like this. While I don't mind the hose wrapping around the gun like Cloud9's, I do mind it wrapping around the figure like that. That does bother me. And I know some people just would flip the whole arm around and just pretend that's good. No. That doesn't work for me. But luckily the original one didn't come with the replacement bit. Then at some point they did release the bits, and then this one, the reissues, which is what this one is, come with this bit, but it should have been pre-installed, I think, and now his electronics won't ever work because this is all in pieces, so that's unfortunate. But so that's what he comes with, and all the collector cards and stuff like that. Cloud9 here, he comes with the replacement barrel because their accessory here is not designed very well, so it ends up breaking the barrel, so you get a replacement barrel for that. Like I said, I carved that whole section out in there, so now it works just fine for alt mode. So you got this option, and you got the replacement, so just if you do get him, gut this thing before you even try to put it in gun mode. He comes with this piece, which, like I said, here, let me show you this real quick. When this thing is in the cannon mode, you can see it all lines up just right. This piece here sits up against this piece here, so it's one solid piece. This piece, there's nothing in there holding it together, so it's just kind of, it's a little bit more floppy, and that's my issue with his backpack here. And trying to get it to tab in, you're trying to push on something that doesn't have anything, to really keep it in place. It doesn't feel nearly as stable as this. This feels 100 times more stable than this thing. So yeah, that's why I set that one off to the side. I don't like it. It doesn't work well. And I'm not a fan of it at all. So anyway, so you got this piece here, makes it look better, but you have to gut it. You got a replacement piece because they know in all likelihood you're going to break this piece if you don't watch out. He comes with, which is cool, he comes with the dark purple hand, which, as you can see, this is the way I want him. He also does come with, one of these is installed, and then one is replacement in case you break it, which is not a very good sign, which is why I really question why anybody uses clear plastic. You can see all the problems that are coming from the clear plastic here. So anyway, so that's there. And then he does come with another hose, which is shorter than the long one. So, depending on how you want to. But the hose is so hard to get inside there. A lot of people in my review were saying, I haven't gotten a chance to reply to most people, but If you use like grease or needle nose pliers, you'll get that in there a lot easier. Yeah, it's just, I would imagine if you heated it up too, like put it in some hot water, that would help. So we're talking about accessories that you have to repair and fix. Same with him. He doesn't really come with much. And then we get into the Takara, which, as far as Takara is concerned, there's never been a question. While I think they could have designed the arms a little bit better to make them more stable, the fact that it does come with clear versions of his hands. So if you like the clear look, you can go clear look. He comes with the salute hand, which admittedly doesn't work as well, and a clear salute hand. It comes with a left hand, which none of the other two have. And he did have a left hand in an episode. So yeah, it should be there. So he's got that. And then he's got the gun. And then the gun, I don't think I pointed this out. It's got a little string here for the hose. So it's awesome. Kind of curious. No, he doesn't have a slot. So I don't think he can kind of hold it, but it's not the right color. So as far as features and accessories, I know I can't show off the lighting feature, but I know his is superior because it pulses. And so as far as any weapons, accessories, features, he has them all beat. It's great. Just like, Ironhide's got all that extra gear and stuff like that. Takara always tops that when it comes to that. All right. So for my chart, and I know I'll get arguments on this one. Takara's got 3 points. Fans Toys has 2. Cloud9 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as far as I'm concerned, Quake Blast is the superior Shockwave. At this point, I know a lot of people like Fans Toys because it's Fans Toys. It was the first Shockwave on the market. It revolutionized the idea that third party can make masterpiece quality figures. But from what we've got here with these 3 figures, if you want to spend the extra money and get something that's official, then get the Takara. But being that the Takara is about the same price as the Fans Toys one, I would definitely say the Takara one is better than the Fans Toys one. I have to say that. The main thing that keeps Cloud9 in the running and winning a lot of it is because the paint is so much better than either of these two. But the cost, more than anything, that cost, and the sculpt too. But the cost of this figure, $80. I think it was Retro Robot, Triple R. I think he posted on my last video and said that it's like $77 shipped on eBay. So he is the best version of Shockwave for me. Now, some people might like the better color or the more cartoon colors. I personally like to have the silver breakup as opposed to the lighter purple breakup. I do wish this hand was more like either silver or a lighter color, so it doesn't just kind of blend in with the arm. But nitpicks there. As far as I'm concerned, there's no reason to get the Fans Toys at this point. If you do not have a Shockwave, do not get the Fans Toys. It's not a bad option. It's not a bad figure. It's a great figure. I think I gave him a 10 out of 10. It's just these two are better options. If you like the cartoon look, this is the better way to go. If you like more like menacing, larger figures, more in tune with like the comic books, this might be the better way to go. So, so as far as my scaling goes, the winner is Cloud9, followed by Takara, and then very closely by Fans Toys. I just think Fans Toys is at this point obsolete. At its time, it was a marvel, and everybody loved it. But as of now, it's just another Fans Toys figure. You know, it's good. It's just not great anymore. And if the accessories are a big thing, then definitely go with the Takara. But if you're sitting there, you're wanting a Takara version because it's going to have a nice Tempograph Decepticon logo, you out of luck. You're going to have to put a sticker on it anyway. Which, I'm sorry, that really pisses me off. It's an official product. It doesn't have a Tempograph logo. I mean, that's just cheap. That is just so cheap of them to do that. I'm sorry. That irritates me. So anyway, yeah, Cloud9 is the way I'd go. Cloud9 is the way I'm going. He's gonna be on my shelf. I think I'll be selling the Fans Toys one. Yeah, definitely selling the Fans Toys one. So if anybody's looking for a Fans Toys one, no box, no instruction, and the electronics, of course, on the arm don't work anymore, like I pointed out. If anybody's looking for it, though, hit me up. I'll make a good deal. You know, like, I'll sell it to you for like $80, something like that. So, anyway, yeah, there you go.